Words and pictures. Fake news. I don't know why I wrote that in there, but it just must be. Fiction. It's all fiction, babies. Artists keep sketchbooks. Mine, more than 4 decades worth, are filled with visual shorthand. There are drawings and ideas for paintings, sculpture, installations, along with phone numbers, grocery lists, things to do, and of course, mindless doodles. I find critiques of my work, sometimes harsh, alongside welcome fragments of dialogue, next to drafts and outlines for fiction. These hybrid sketchbooks/journals have recently, as if by their own volition, come down from a high shelf in my studio to a table within easy reach. From time to time, out of curiosity, I open one. The working drawings are viable, the rants at times amusing, but it's the vein of narrative that rushes up from the page like a charged found object that interests me most. When asked, I call what I do hypothetical realism. The places and things I paint aren't real, but you know they could be. The same holds true for short, mean fiction. None of what I've written really happened. There's not an iota of autobiography in any of this. I don't care what these people I went to high school with say. None of what I have written really happened, but it could have. Like tales from the Old Testament, these stories are rampant, mean, with sex, violence, and death. Has anybody bothered to read the 23rd chapter of Ezekiel recently? I don't even get close to that crap. You know? I got to tell you, man, it's tough. The prophet Ezekiel broke really bad on the 2 whoring sisters of Egypt and talks about the Sumerian horseman lovers who are hung like donkeys with emissions like stallions. And Billy Bob don't get even close to that stuff. Like tales from the Old Testament, they're all are figments of an active, if not fertile, imagination, and brevity may be their greatest charm. They are fictions through and through, and should a disclaimer be needed, consider it made. The drawings scattered throughout this volume are not illustrations, but live in the same place. The sketchbooks, where I first wrote the stories, forgot them, and then found them again. To my mind, that's what can be trusted. As with painting, I feel little pride of authorship and make no literary claims for short, mean fiction. But for what it's worth, for better or for worse, and to my utter surprise, there are many, many more where these came from.